Greetings, greetings, greetings. You are now tuned into the Vault. Touch Christian own, nothing control everything. Just want to thank you for tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate everybody that tunes in live, listens in the replay. This is the Vault. How to build wealth in trust. The Vault edition. Definitely appreciate everybody that listens live. We know quite a few people listening to replay. All of our longtime listeners, we always appreciate you all. As well as our new listeners, new subscribers. Definitely hit the like, hit the subscribe button. Always appreciate you all. And so we definitely wanted to do this episode today. As always, so many people we've come in contact with and involved. We've been doing this for over 5 years. We've been doing trustee training. We're doing business management consulting. And we've come in contact with people that are just starting. Everybody say, oh, I'm just getting the business just started. Some people say they're not claiming any money. And then you got people that we've dealt with in business, they have over $1 million a year revenue in business. So we're going to talk to people that, oh, everybody wants to build generational wealth. It seems to be a secret. So we're going to talk about it in the Vault Edition. There is no secret. The secret is you don't get rich off one transaction. Business is not the lottery, neither is wealth building. You don't get wealthy off of one transaction, ladies and gentlemen. You don't start one business and get wealthy off one business. Most people aren't Bill Gates, and most people aren't Elon Musk. And even for that reason, if you understood how they structured their companies, they don't take salaries and they didn't get wealthy off one transaction. These companies bought other companies. Their company hit a maxed out capacity. You're talking to people that when you talk about building wealth, these people build monopolies. You want to be wealthy though. Why won't you be wealthy? Because you're trying to get rich off one transaction. That's it. You think you're going to get wealthy off one transaction. If you want to get rich, you'll get rich off one transaction. But we talk about generational wealth, ladies and gentlemen. You see that you have to do more than one transaction at a scale, not on small scales, at a scale. That means $1 million and above. That means that you have to be more than a one trick pony. Oh no, Trust Christian. I don't know if I have it in me. Don't talk to me like that. I don't have a one trick in me, let alone two tricks in me. I don't know where to start on my business ideas. I got so many business ideas. No wonder you're supposed to be wealthy, because you got a bunch of business ideas, and you don't want to know that a bunch of them are supposed to fail. Oh no, Trust Christian, don't say it to me like that. I want to build wealth. I don't want to have a failing idea on my way to wealth. Right. That's why we're doing this episode. Because people are afraid to fail on an idea and get wealthy on another. Because it's a series of transactions, not one. You don't get wealthy on one transaction. Oh, Trust Christian, I'm a millionaire. I got my business over $1 million. And then you talk to our mentors and the way that they trained us. A business is either being bought, Christian, or it's being sold. What? A business is either being bought, Christian, or it's being sold. So what are we talking about now? Are you building a business to sell it? Or are you building a business to have a job? That's why most people are not going to build wealth. Because they building a job. They got job mentality. They taking job mentality into the business world. They don't know how to scale. Oh, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do that. You got to learn it. It clearly ain't in the book. If it was in the book, everybody that went to Harvard, that went to their business school, they'd be a millionaire. That's not true. Because it's not in a book. Most entrepreneurs that are ultra successful in general don't have a degree. We talk about this to our wealthy mentors all the time. But oh no, you get the average man, the common man, the regular man, the man that don't know about having 8 figures or 9 figures. He wants to tell you, oh yeah, Christian, you don't know better. You got to get a degree, man. You got to have a degree, because if you don't have a degree, you don't know the formalities. You don't know how to do an interview. What? Did you guys watch the movie with Steve Jobs? Did you guys watch the movie? How you interview people? How you enroll people into your dream of being generational wealthy? You get generational wealthy by helping other families get rich and wealthy. Bill Gates did it. Elon Musk did it. Usually, that's how it works. We remember sitting in a room this past year. We sat in a room with some billionaires, and we were like, man, that's ultimately what it comes down to. You're not going to be wealthy by yourself. You're going to have other families that you work with. That's why we work with the families in trust, because they understand how to manage the wealth so they don't mess the wealth up on the process of building it, let alone holding it. You got to hold it at an arm's length distance dealing. You got to hold it at an arm's length distance dealing. You can't have anything in your name when you pass a $10 million threshold, when you pass a 20 or $50 million or $100 million threshold. Oh man, but I didn't learn that, Trust Christian. The athletes and the celebrities, they got it in their name. How come I can't have it in my name? Wealth is built through a series of transactions, and it's not through selling your house. So how does it work? You got to get into the mindset of selling a business or buying a business. It's nothing wrong with selling your dream. You're selling a product or service, so why not package it and sell it as a business? That's where the idea of franchising came from. It's been evolved since the 60s. Why? Because we've left small town commerce. You're not competing with the town that you're in. You're competing with the next town over through an interstate highway. And then guess what? We got to this internet thing, and we got to the internet highway, and now you're competing with people that can sell the same consulting service. You can do almost everything through the internet except for wipe your butt and brush your teeth. And when they figure that out, people are going to do that too. Because wealth is built through a series of transactions. People say, oh, we live in the information age, we're living at the speed of light. The information is coming at you at the speed of light. I could pull up something on the internet and it comes faster than ever. I could learn about all this information. Okay. How does that translate into execution? So many people come to Revolt. Oh, Trust Christian, I got a great business idea. I got a business idea. Man, I got a business idea. Oh, I got a business idea. That's what you hear when you sit on our side of the table. I got a business idea. Oh, you got a business idea? Well, when are you going to execute the idea? When are you going to put the action, the rubber meets the road? You're going to stop and you're going to commit and you're going to say, you know what? I'm willing to go through with this until it says all hell's at no end. Hard pill to swallow. Oh no, Trust Christian Revolt. I don't want to do that. I don't want to fail. I don't want to fail at 3 businesses, but one of 2 or 3 or 4 work still. So I built 7, but only 3 work. And I'm a multi-millionaire. I'm a multi-billionaire. That's what. Because you got to be willing to do that. You got to be willing to see what your strengths and your weaknesses are. That's the series of transactions. In each transaction, you're getting better at your skill set of building wealth. You think building wealth was easy? You think building wealth not a skill set? It's a skill set. They hire people at Fortune 500s to not lose money because it's a skill set. Some people are good at just working for others. Some people are good at finding ideas, finding deals, and actually executing on those ideas by putting real money behind them. Putting real effort behind them, putting real diligence behind them. Skill set. So how do we help you out at the vault? Through consultations. You get a consultation, you got to learn the skill set. What are some of the things that I'm good at? We do an assessment of your skills. What are your skills? Are you good at talking? Are you good at getting out your comfort zone? Are you good at taking risks? What's your risk management like? Most people don't want to hear that. As they get older, they get more risk averse because they're playing it safe. When you're building wealth, you got to be risque, especially in the early stages. No, don't say that, Trust Christian. You got to have good risk management tools. All right, look. If you don't push the needle in the beginning, not throughout the process of managing wealth, in the beginning, we've seen it over and over, redundantly. Because you got to sell the business or you got to buy a business. That's the aggressiveness. That's the aggression that has to be there. Otherwise, you have a job. That's it. It's active income. You build wealth through passive income streams. Oh no, Trust Christian, don't say that to me. Cause so many think, oh man, I got an Airbnb. I don't have to show up for 3 days out of the month. So I got a whole business here. Okay, okay. How do you build wealth and trust? You build it through a series of transactions. Don't say it to me so many times because how many transactions do I gotta do? That depends on the number you want. Think about this. There's you're a business. We always ask trustees, what you're in a business, what is the addressable market for your business? Where are you at? Like, what are you going to get this business to in the next 3 to 5 years? People talk about a business plan. Oh, Trust Christian, I gotta have a business plan. The bank, the financial institutions, they want me to have a business plan. Okay, really? So if you get sick tomorrow, who's gonna manage the business plan? The invisible you? Your AI you? Did you create your AI version of you yet? Did you program your AI version of you yet? So when people call the phone for you, that it picks up and answers and does everything like you? Right. Because people watching TV. Don't say it to me like that, Trust Christian. It's football season, don't you know? It's the new season, man. Something's coming on Netflix. Something. One of the mentors. You know, we used to always wonder what he used. What he used to always say. He would say, "It's a paid price to action, Trust Christian. It's a paid price to action," and we now know what it is because it's a series of transactions. And if you have a lottery mentality, you might as well say you have the get rich quick mentality, which is I get one business and I'm going to build it up and I'm going to be successful and I'm never going to sell it. That's the first non wealth mentality because you have a job. And then you have the wealth mentality, which is okay, I got to build a business and get it to the point where I can sell it. Where I can say, everybody comes and says, "Oh, private equity, Trust Christian, the vault, private equity. I gotta get private equity. I don't want to get private equity." I mean, y'all should hear these stories that we hear about private equity. Oh man, private equity. Like, what do you know about private equity? Oh man, the private. It's like a hedge fund. I hear about these things. They some big invisible entities. You know, they got a lot of money somewhere in the hanging out ready to buy you out. Right? They got a bunch of money hanging out ready to buy you out because you built a successful ice cream business, because you built a successful cafe business, and so sometimes you might build more than one location. So they might buy, it might be a equity fund or a fund that is buying. Uh, they might be buying, restaurants. They might be buying cafes. They might like the margins in the business. Some people might not say, "Oh, restaurants." Some people may say, "Oh, I got a bunch of laundry mats, Trust Christian Vault. I got about 8 of them." Yep, and somebody came through and bought them. I got a lawnmower company. I pretty much got half a quarter of the state. I got a lot of government contracts, and some equity company came in and bought me out. Exactly. Some people don't want to sell their dream. They want to hold on to it. They want to hold on to their baby. There's nothing wrong with holding on to your baby, but just know you're holding on to a job. Sometimes you gotta let your baby go out there and sell itself. And we come in contact with this, and this is what we're proud of our team for because we recently came in contact with some transactions, and sometimes, a lot of times in transactions, especially when you build it well, sometimes oh man, you get so antsy, you get so zesty, like man, I wanna gobble up the market and buy these deals up, and it's almost like the elephant graveyard, where you're in the marketplace and you're looking at deals and you see so many deals that they just don't pencil is what the team would say. The team would say they don't pencil. The numbers don't work, the margins aren't there, the owner's living out of the business. And it's just interesting to see, so many what people will call successful entrepreneurs, they're just living out of the business and they really haven't built a business. They built a job. And it's just interesting to see that so many entrepreneurs don't see the value in building something that's independent of themselves. It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna keep personal guarantee and everything. I'm gonna keep having it be my job, and had no one's educated me in trust yet, so I'm just gonna be out here, and I'm gonna have everything in my name. The business is in my name, the car is in my name, everything's in my name. It's all in my name because I own it. I need everyone to know that I own it. But then you see wealth builders say, no, we're gonna give out actually a piece of this pie. We're gonna build out a team, and we're gonna buy out the marketplace and sell the marketplace back to the marketplace. Just like when people say, oh, I'm buying real estate. Buying real estate is like buying a business. But you're supposed to make money on the buy, not on the sell. That's the difference. You got the common man sitting out here talking about, oh, Trust Christian, I got to get a mortgage. I'm going to get a mortgage, Trust Christian, because I need to own something. What do they say? I need to own property or whatever they talking about. But you're supposed to make money on the buy. Did you do the calculation for the number? Did you assess it as a real business, or you assess it as real estate that you're going to live in? How is it an investment and you live in it? You can't live in your own investment. We're done with these conversations in the public. So if you keep trying to come to the vault talking that, oh man, I got a house, Trust Christian, under my name with my personal credit score, that's not building wealth. You think passing along a debt to your children is wealth building? Did you pay off the house before you gave it to the child? And they still got to deal with property tax. We know people, personally or otherwise, that say they don't want their parents' house because they don't want to inherit the property tax for what little bit it is or not. You got children that will say we don't want to inherit our parents' property tax. Did you talk to your children about the property tax yet? Oh no, that's a secret it's a secret in the family. We can't talk about those financial matters. How you build wealth? Make sure the next generation can handle the family's property tax. Make sure that the family has a property lawyer. Oh wow, we got a lot of things, Trust Christian. We got cable, but we don't have a property lawyer, but we own property. Hold on, we'll repeat that again. We got cable, we got Netflix, but we don't have a property lawyer, and we're in property. You didn't network this month. Hold on. How long have you been in property? You didn't network in property law yet. How long have you been in property and you haven't networked in property yet with a property lawyer yet? How many title companies do you have up your sleeve? Oh no. Then when we come into the environment we in, the mentors told us to put a team together. So that's half the battle right there. If you're trying to do it by yourself, you can't build wealth by yourself. Come on now. Are we done talking about this or what? Until you screw your head on tight and say, you know what? I got to have a team. Who? One of them, if you're in property, you got to have a property lawyer. Period. A real estate attorney. Period. Someone that specializes in it. Someone that you know is going to do the hard grunt work. Oh no, Trust Christian, don't say it to me like that, Trust Christian. Don't say it to me like that. I got a lot of work to do. I'm building these houses, man. I'm flipping houses, man. I'm getting money when I buy. So what you mean, Trust Christian? I'm making money without a property lawyer, Trust Christian. How you gonna tell me? Right. Y'all don't even want to know. Mentors would have told you you're doing it backwards. Why? The mentors would have said, Trust Christian, you need a team before you acquire the properties. You don't want to hear that because you're putting the cart before the horse. That's what it sounds like. That's what the mentors would say to us. You're putting the cart before the horse. You're out here trying to make money in all these different sectors and you don't have a team lined up. Oh no, don't say it to me like that. I don't trust anybody, so how am I going to be in trust? I don't trust anybody. I don't trust anybody. That's all y'all want to talk about. That's what poor people talk about. That's what people in poverty talk about. They don't trust each other. You got to get out of those environments so you can get around people that you like, trust, and respect. Oh, is that a difference? You got to get around people that you like, trust, and respect. So when you ask them for their feedback, they're giving you vetted feedback. That's what the mentors told us. Trish, y'all don't even want to know. Here we go. Trish Christian, what do you mean property attorney? Y'all don't want to get a law firm. You want to get Joe Dingleberry, the lawyer down the street. The mentors told us to get lawyers you can't afford. Oh no, Trust Christian, I can't do that. How can I do that? How can I get a lawyer I can't afford? I can't do it. Right. What you mean you can't get him? Did you call? How many of y'all called? Did you talk to that lawyer yet? What's the, oh man, I'm gonna go get a lawyer that cost me $200 when in all actuality the lawyer that's and the lawyer that's doing it for 800 to 1,000, they don't lose cases. They got a success ratio. They hard workers. They calling you back. They being accountable. They not like Joe Dingleberry down the street who barely calling you back, who barely returns your call. They're not elite players. Oh, I want to build wealth. If you don't want to build wealth, you don't need to worry about building a team. You don't need to. But if you're talking about building wealth, you're going to have a team. It's a team sport. So we're talking about what the team looks like, what the composition of it looks like. What does it look like? You got lawyers you can't afford, accountants you can't afford. How the trust gonna pay for that? Cause it's supposed to be doing business. You the engine anyways. Hey, y'all be out here talking smack. Oh yeah, I'm trying to build wealth. You the person that's gonna build it. You think the business is gonna build it by itself? You think the idea is the thing? We would love to tell y'all. The idea is the brightest thing since sliced bread. The idea is it's like the light bulb. It's not about the light bulb. It's about Benjamin, whatever his name was, not quitting. That's what it's about. That's what y'all don't want to hear. It's about you not quitting. And most of y'all quitting every day. You sitting there watching TV. How you gonna build wealth watching TV? That's entertainment. You wrong for saying that? How we wrong for saying it? Wealthy people build tools to entertain the masses. You wrong for saying that though, Trust Christian in the Vault. My significant other has a TV show. Somebody said they're a first time listener. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. Says I'm curious who to trust. So you say you're curious who to trust. The people that you trust are the people that are in trust. You ask the questions. Are they in trust? Okay, what type of trust are they in? You ask questions. And some people may say, I don't know the question to ask. Right. So how you going to get into the information and you not studying? When you studying, you going to have questions. That's the part people don't want to hear. They act like this is an oxymoron. No, but you're really fooling and lying to yourself. How you going to say you learning something but you don't have questions? That makes no sense, especially when you're doing your own street learning. You're not just like, oh, it's formal, give it to you in a book. I must obtain a house. I'm taking too long. I want to open up a business. Okay. Y'all don't even want to know. The mentors, they told us, they say, oh, trust Christian. The mentors would be like, trust Christian. Strategy comes before structure. And I mean, it was so many things the mentors would say to us like that. They'd be like, look, you need to figure out what you going to do first. The entity, I want to start a business stuff, all that's going to come. It's like, what do you mean? It's gonna come. It's not. It's you don't. Business is not in a book. If it was so easy, there would be one book. We all would read it, and we all would be rich. That ain't how it worked. I don't want to use my debt notes to obtain the house. Okay. Think about this. Why would you be buying a house? See, people don't want to do the opportunity cost loss. They just want to go out and buy a house. How is buying a house an investment? It's not. It's tying yourself to debt. It's tying yourself to the greatest amount of debt that you can get personally type deal. So how is that beneficial? Because they don't understand. Think about this. But they have three EIN numbers. I have an EIN number. And the mentors do it even if we said something like that to one of our mentors, he would tell us get up and get out the room. To be honest with you, he'd tell us get out of the room. He'd be like, "What you?" He would tell us, "What are you? What do you, he was like, he'd be like, what is that benefit of that? He'd be like, do you have three businesses that have $1 million rolling through them? Because remember, we're focused on buying or selling. We're not focused on, you could start a business from scratch. Some people start things from scratch, but that's going. Think about how challenging that is. You didn't read that in the book, building it from scratch. That's geometric growth right there. You could build that. It's like saying, oh yeah, I started at a lemonade stand and I went from a lemonade stand to a lemonade, store or something like that, and then from a lemonade store open up multiple locations. That's how it looks. That's what the mentors say. Oh, you open up one and now you open up two or three. Like that's how they talk to us. I'm studying for over a year and house hunting for two. I sold my other house, so I need a place to live in. Once again, a lot of people don't look at renting, quote unquote, as just like renting a car. They look at fake debt on their personal name. Think about it. If you gonna be in trust, how you gonna be in trust and you focused on putting stuff in your personal name still, so you can have something in your personal name as far as the house. If you gonna end up doing something in business or in trust, you would just focus on business and then let the assets be held in the right position in trust. And in turn, once again, the trust is to go to take care of the trustee. The business is going to take care of the manager that's operating the business. So how is that a challenge? Oh man, you go to one of the episodes there recently. If you got a public business, which most people do, you can actually deduct $1 million, and y'all can go look that law up. Just go Google a CEO can or an executive can deduct $1 million in their corporation this year, and y'all can look that up. Y'all see that. But at the end of the day, people getting this house stuff overrated. And once again, you think about this. If think about this. See, we sit on the side of business side. We don't sit on the personal side. Think about that. You're trying to apply a business principle which does not apply to a personal life situation. People trying to buy houses so they can get capital gains and appreciation on the property and sell the property in 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, 10 years, however long. Do y'all listen to the statistics that the average person doesn't live in a house longer than 7 years? Are you planning on that when you walk into the mortgage, saying, okay, in 7 years, I know that the value of the house should be this based off of the area, the comps, this, that, and the third? Are they looking at it from that business perspective? Or are they looking at it from, oh, I'm about to live in here, I'm about to build up some of my credit, and I'm going to sell this house for a capital gain, and I don't even know about a 1031 exchange. Then when we talking to a trustee the other day about a 1031 exchange, they didn't even know about a 1031 exchange. It's like these trustees, not all of them, but people in general, you going into property and don't even know how to minimize your tax liability, and you didn't study that yet. Yeah, you want to pump the brakes here. You got to pump the brakes. Why? Because if you don't have a team, and if you got to have a team that can help you for your blind spots. Taxes is your blind spot. So we're going to say appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listen, replay. Always appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listen, replay. Definitely appreciate the first time listener in the comments, JC Overload. Uh, just want to appreciate them for making comments, but take my BC. We're not sure. It says bump the state out of the beneficial spot. And see, that's the thing. You always gotta let a person sit around long enough to tell on themselves, because at the end of the day, the beneficial owner, the beneficiary, is liable. Oh no, I didn't know that, Trust Christian. What do you mean? The beneficiary receives, correct? They don't do any work, correct? The trustee does the work, right? The trustee does the work, right? And then they give it to the beneficiary, right? Right. But so many people got it twisted. Definitely encourage you to reach out for a consultation. Christian at trustchristian.com. Once again, that's Christian at trustchristian.com. Look forward to hearing from you. Uh, and then they ask, is the trustee liable? How the trustee liable? They don't own the trust. They don't own the assets. They don't own the proceeds. They don't own anything. It's Trust Christian. Own nothing. Control everything. And this is why people get consultations. People just reach out privately like this person. They'll ask questions like this here. Appreciate you for the first time. Definitely reach out for a consultation, Christian at trustchristian.com. But definitely, like, so many people reach out, they talk about building wealth. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't even want to take the shortcut on building wealth. You really don't. There is no shortcut, first of all. It's built over a series of transactions. That's why y'all go see most people not even make it and be wealthy when y'all really, when it comes down to it. Most people not gonna see people be wealthy. Y'all might see them get rich. Okay, I got rich. But think about it. Mike Tyson supposedly made over $250 million. Do you understand that's $250 million? And he lost it. He spent it. How do you spend it? He spent it like he was his own corporation. Right, he was. He was his own empire. Employed people, had a whole staff, marketing company, training company, all types of stuff. That's what happens. Definitely. $250 million. Blew through it. Schmiggity smam. Blew through it. Okay. Somebody just appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listen, replay. Appreciate y'all. We got someone typing in the chat. We're gonna work with it. Somebody said, I want to use my own energy to be successful, not work for someone else. So, okay, where do you think it starts? The first thing it starts with is you. You got to write down a declaration to yourself and the universe that you are committing today and you're not going to turn back. No! Don't say it to me like that, Trust Christian. You made it sound so easy. What, you don't think it's that easy? It's that easy. You got to write down what you're about to do. You got to write down your number. You got to write down, I am going to have this number. I am going to render service. But what they going to make an excuse? I don't know where to start. Did your universe communicate with you yet? Is there a conflict in the universe for you yet? Is it a conflict of interest? You trying to carry employee thinking and the entrepreneur thinking? That's a conflict of interest. Is it a conflict of interest yet? You hanging around employees when you looking to be an entrepreneur? I want to know. The mentors told us to cut people off. Oh no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to. We know you're not going to do that. You don't even know you in a hole. People talk about generational curses. I got generational curses I'm trying to break. No, you're not. You're not trying to break generational curses because why you keep hanging around with the curse? Birds of a feather flock together. The mentors tell us still to this day. Oh, Trust Christian, the 5 closest people you associate with. No, I don't want to believe that. We know because you never studied. You didn't study. You don't study. People that usually are really good at things hang out with other people that are really good with things. That's how it works. Losers hang out with losers. Winners hang out with winners. Don't say it like that, Trust Christian. Okay. Every now and then I got to sprinkle in a loser into my life. Okay, well, we know why every now and then you got that one every now and then moment and you be wondering why you be messing up. Because you hang out with people that they're not consistent. You just want to be consistently successful. You just want to be consistently wealthy. You just want to be consistent at being who you supposed to be. Why do you want to be inconsistent? Do you want to be consistent or be inconsistent? So the first thing you do, you write down the idea. Second thing you got to do, you got to go find a mentor. Oh no, Trust Christian, that's the doopity da day moment again. Exactly, because maybe you never seeked out a mentor, but y'all don't want to know successful people have a giving heart. We know where we come from. That's why we do the vote, because we know where we come from. It's about giving. You got to give to get. You got to give to receive. That's how you get, by giving. What you gonna do? Give up your time, give up your energy, give up your intellect, give up your skills, give up your talents. You have to give. Oh no, Trust Christian, I'm still trying to be wealthy though. Right. This how you get. This how you focus on having wealth, by giving. Oh no, I don't know. I didn't learn that in public school. Public school didn't teach me how to goal set. You gotta read a few books. So we say, starting out the gate, The Entrepreneur's Myth, The E Myth by Michael Gerber. Last name Gerber. Michael Gerber. Y'all can read that book, and if you don't get it based off that, you ain't supposed to get it. Let's just say that. But if you study the entrepreneur's myth or the E myth, basically you're gonna find out like, okay, I gotta put together a structure, but the structure doesn't come before the strategy, and you need a team. So you're gonna find a team to help you put together the structure. It's like building a house. No one built a house by themselves, ladies and gentlemen. Even the foundation, you need somebody for the blueprint. So you find different people on your team. Go do the research on companies that are in your industry and find out how their board is set up. Find out how their team is set up. Find out who's on their team. They got a CFO. They got a CEO. They got a secretary. They got an in-house general counsel. They got these things. You go find out who they are, and then you just mimic your team after it. You got to start somewhere. You might not have all stars off the rip. Oh man, what, you ain't got that type of money. But we already told you you're supposed to get lawyers you can't afford. We already told you you're supposed to get accountants you can't afford. So guess what you're supposed to do? You're supposed to get talent you can't afford. Oh man, how am I going to pay them then? Well, it's not about paying them. Because when you do transactions, when you do business, you're going to make money. That's why when you have them around, they can let you know what's a good one from a bad one. The mentor going to let you know what's a good one from a bad one. Oh no, you got to find a mentor. How fast are you going to find? See, this is the part y'all don't want to hear. It's not about what you got to do. It's how long it's going to take you. Because that's all y'all thinking about too. Oh, man, it's going to take. That the way we talking to people. Oh, man, I'm going to take 5 years to retire. How you going to tell you taking 5 years to retire? You got people on the internet over here making millions of dollars and all this silliness. Talking about they making tons of money over the internet. And you going to take 5 years to retire. Why? Because you playing with it. You hanging out with people that got jobs. They got long poor thinking. Instead of saying, you know what? If I make enough money, 3 times the amount of money I'm making from my job right now, I'm out of here. 3 times the amount. So if you're making 5K, you're making 15, you gone. You making 3K, you making 12, you out. 12K a month. But you don't want to gamble on yourself. You don't want to bet on yourself. You want to bet on massa. You want to bet on the boss. And y'all don't want to know. It's too easy to run back to a job because you've been programmed. The older you are, the harder it is, the easier it is to run back to a job. That's the bottom line. Oh man, I'm going to be a part-time entrepreneur. Why you think you call it that? Part-time. What, you a part-time generational wealther too? Let's talk that talk. You a part-time generational wealther? Please. That's the game they playing with people over the internet. They playing with your intelligence. That's what they doing. They insulting you. They taking your $9.99 a month, $14 a month, whatever they taking from you financially. Oh yeah. And we talking about books. Maybe you got to pay for them. Maybe you don't. We only said one book. That's the Entrepreneur Myth. If you don't read the Entrepreneur Myth, then it's fine. If you read, and the only reason we don't recommend necessarily, like, you could read Napoleon Hill. Somebody already asked us about some of the things that's in that book. But okay, you still got to go out and know the structure, quote unquote, or what would be the strategy for the business. So Michael Gerber, E-Myth, easiest way out of that pickle. But once you know that, you still got to build a team. There's so many elements to this, and it's not in a book. So why you think we not discouraging TV? We not spiting TV. What we're talking about is you got to put a lot of time in studying the business that you want to build so you can build it and sell it. You got to figure out how to sell it. Oh, that's the challenge, Christian? That's all it is. Because otherwise, you're just building a job. That's it. You're just building a job. And there's nothing wrong with that. Go build a job. You want to build a job? Build a job. Say you're doing that so you can be clear on your exit. But guess what? Y'all don't even want to know. Oh, man. We ran into an entrepreneur this past weekend. And they were talking about the exit, man. It's just all they said. They kept saying, you heard, that's the only word they were talking about. They weren't talking about how much money you can make. They weren't talking about nothing. They were talking about the exit. How much we going to exit the business for? What's the X multiple we going to exit the business for? And that's what y'all don't want to hear in the public because y'all dilly-dabbling in business and you basically like a worker bee. It's just you're taking on. Think about it. You own the business. You got all the liability because you own the business. And if you even built it to a position where you can sell off a portion of it because you know that there are people that are at bigger levels that want to buy businesses at smaller levels. Appreciate Ron in for tuning in live. Ron in, reach out, man. Look forward to seeing you on the 20th, but definitely reach out, man, for sure. Definitely want to see you. Look forward to seeing you as well. All books are theoretical, if not from experience. Okay, and so here we go. Then people try to get on us. We shared it with y'all. Oh yeah, I want to be a billionaire. I want to be a millionaire. Did you read The Art of the Deal yet? Did you read Mark Cuban's book yet? But y'all want to talk about Mark Cuban. Y'all love Mark Cuban, but did you read the book yet? Oh no. The easiest way to get close to his mindset. The truth. Oh no, I didn't read that yet, but I read the book about how to be in love. All right, well, go ahead. Somebody put awakening to the entrepreneur within. Oh, never mind. Oh. So you got to read the books directly from the people. That's what the mentor shared with us. That was an amazing feat once we got it started on that, because you don't want to know. And the closer you get to people that are like doing your industry, that are ultra wealthy or close to what you want to be wealthy doing, you'll literally see like, oh man, they already were thinking how I was thinking already. Exactly, because you think you the smartest person in the room. That's what's wrong with poor people. They the smartest person in the room. Wealthy people understand I got to build a team, so I'm never the smartest person in the room. See the difference? We build teams. Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listen, replay. Always appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listen, replay. Feel free to reach out, Christian at trustchristian.com. Once again, Christian at trustchristian.com. Look forward to hearing from y'all. Series of transactions. Don't have the lottery mentality. Peace and joy.